Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
He runs Round Town Radio, and he is with us now. Travis Young, thank you so much for joining us. You are one of the first persons that I knew that stepped into what's not terrestrial radio, but it's online radio. Talk about where this all started for you.
Well, this actually started back in, 2006 for me. I was on FM radio in Columbus, Ohio with Star 107.9, which is an all 80s FM station. Long story short, when that station, departed from the FM airwaves, oldie station was put in its place. And I mean, I just loved the station because it was the first station that gave me my big break.
Yeah.
So there was a guy that was experimenting with internet radio, and I contacted him and I said, hey, I'm one of the original, not one of the original, but one of the former DJs of the station. So me and this young man hooked up and started exploring internet radio, and I got infatuated with it. I was excited about it, and I said, with everything that FM radio does nowadays, I mean, not narking FM radio, don't get me wrong, but you have more liberties, more of what you can do with a musical format. And then I just said, okay, in Circleville, where Round Town Radio is, there was a gap between, radio stations in Chillicothe, radio stations in Columbus. There was that big gap. So, and I knew WNRE used to be on the air through, I do believe, 1990, 1991, I do believe.
Yeah.
And then I asked the former station owner, which was Nelson Embry, I said, can I have your blessing? I said, I'll make an awesome tribute station. So in October 2011, Round Town Radio was born.
That's fantastic. Now, you and I met at an event in Circleville maybe 4 years ago, I think it was, a Touch a Truck event, if I'm not mistaken. And
yes,
that was where we first had a conversation. But one thing I don't think that I was aware of was 107.9. I helped put that on the air back in 1991, I believe it was, with the folks there at Delaware, WDLR. It was their FM radio station, and we went on the air as WCEZ, Easy 108.
Yes, I remember that station. As a matter of fact, here's a neat little tidbit. I think I still have a coffee cup from the Easy 108 station.
Is that right?
And here's another thing. I didn't know if you knew this or not, that actually
does it look like
Easy
this?
108, no, it's a different one.
Okay.
But Easy 108 is now an internet radio station. So it's back on the air. Yes, it's a tribute station. Yes.
I'll be. Well, this was the original logo, the softest spot on the dial. So
yes.
Had no clue we get into that conversation today.
Hey, and it's neat to dig up some good memories like that of radio stations that, as people said, they've passed. They've went on, something else has replaced them. I love the people that wants to take that adventure with internet radio, and you can create tribute stations. There's people, I mean, that I know that was even during COVID was here, started their own internet radio stations. It's phenomenal how much it's picked up.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Who would have thought that the internet could be turned into something enjoyable like this? The downside is people need to know where you are to be able to find you. So we can do searches through Facebook, through Twitter, and Google, and just search Round Town Radio, and boom, there you are, right?
Yes. And I've done some live events, even during the pumpkin show. There's people that walked up, I didn't even know you guys existed.
Yeah.
And I said, you need to tune the station in. Like I said, once again, not narking any FM radio station, but, hearing it as much as I did and being on the inside, knowing how limited a lot of the station's libraries of playlists are. a lot of repetition, a lot of the same stuff. Roundtown Radio's library of rotation has over, I do believe, over 10,000 songs. So, I mean, every time somebody hears a repeat, it's almost like it's brand new.
Yeah.
And the station literally plays everything. It plays 50s through today. We've got a yacht rock show. We pay tribute to K95.5 on Monday nights. We have an oldies Tuesday. Friday night 80s is one of our biggest shows every Friday night. And then we have something that pays tribute to the old Circle D recreation. Every Saturday night, we play the skating rink music. So that's a nice trip back in the past for everybody.
That is pretty cool. My days in Circleville was WNRE. I was there for just a handful of months back in 1981, I believe. So I did get a chance to, but the names that are still around, like Jack Mater, he's still alive and kicking up in Circleville. Mary Margaret Van Diest was in the news along with there. You mentioned Nelson Embry. He's now the mayor of Asheville.
Yes.
Worked with all those people. And Rick Sabine, another guy that was native to WNRE. And those were great personalities that built the community and what radio was at that point in time. And I like the fact that you've brought that back in a sense.
Well, and it's always been a passion of mine. And when I hooked up and did internet radio with star1079.com, that's when, okay, little flames started to trickle. So then when I started doing some research, okay, there's a big open, like I said, big open spot between Chillicothe and Columbus. So everything just started getting put together. I've had help from so many people. My wife's been one of my biggest supporters with this because she knows I love music. I love to DJ. She stood with me through all this, through the planning. And I mean, it took about, I'd say 9 months from when we actually started planning to when Roundtown Radio first hit the air. It actually hit the airwaves during the Pumpkin Show of 2011. So it happened to be at the right time.
So you've got 12 years under your belt in that respect of broadcasting on the internet. What have you learned since those early days to what you put into practice today?
It's not who you are, it's who you know. And Roundtown Radio would not be what it is without the small businesses, without the people that listens. And me, I'm just one of the guys behind the curtain, as far as DJ or programmer. I mean, we have, I call them the higher ups, the bosses that, they make sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. And it's wonderful seeing all the folks, especially the ones that listen to the station. They said they love the music mix. They love hearing what they hear. They said it appeals to all the senses. That's what we like to hear in the businesses. The small business, love every one of them that takes the chance, and not to brag, not to toot our own horn, but, internet radio, the biggest advantage with that, prices are way lower, as far as the advertising costs, which a lot of the businesses, don't get me wrong, FM radio needs to do what they need to do to pay the bills. Sure. This is where the small market business radio comes in to help those folks, to give them that radio advertising at a quarter of the price. And that's why it's a substantial market. That's why I love the small market radio stations, the internet stations, the ones that start as a hobby like I did. And now looking back 12 years later, seeing, what it's grown to become, I couldn't have done it by myself. I'm humbled, thankful. I'm just in awe of words of how many people helped this venture out.
And you don't have the high overhead of FCC licenses and all that you have to go through and maintaining a brick and mortar. You just got it online and here you go.
That's it. And, with all the music, it's all squeaky clean for everybody. We don't play nothing with explicit lyrics because, there's, once again, radio stations that does that. We have a reputation of the station that does it. We like to keep it peppy. We love to keep it upbeat. We love to give the people what they want to hear on FM radio, not the complaints of too much repetition, not very much of a library playlist. That's how Round Town Radio was built.
And I will tell you, in my years of music radio, the playlists always seem to get tighter and tighter. Now, granted, it was 30 years ago that I was at Sunny 95, but when I was there, we had a collection of around, I think it was close to 1,200 songs in our library, but only played about 300 of those. And so that gets pretty tight after a while.
Oh, it does. And with everything as far as radio goes, you know, in my philosophy as a radio station is only as good as the research put into the musical playlist, how it reaches out to people, how it lifts up people, how it positive radio, feel good radio. And, you know, like I said, again, not to brag, but with all the help that I've had from everybody that's contributed to the playlist, it's another radio station would call it an enviable playlist.
Well, I know we reached out to you back in January, and I said, I got an idea to share with you. And it was our focus. We wanted to do every other week on Pickaway County. And how better to talk about Pickaway County than to have the voice of Pickaway County join us. And you indeed are that voice right now. Is there anyone else that's doing something similar to what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. Once again, I'm just the guy that's behind the curtain as far as the radio station goes. Our morning show, Jenny and Jenny in the morning. I call them the heart and soul of the station. These ladies are great. They do a show every Friday. They reach out to a lot of the small businesses in Pickaway County, the libraries. They love local. They live local. And they're great. I mean, I can't say any more than that. The content on their morning show is awesome. Their information is awesome. Like I said, again, just a loss of words.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of what we've been trying to do here with Litter Media, only on radio form.
Right. And then, you know, Jenny and Jenny, if I'm not mistaken, they're almost 4 years old. I think they joined with an idea. It was an idea. They said they wanted to do something local content, bring some of the small businesses on, do an interview with them, bring people to the forefront that some may not even know their business exists. Yeah. And Jenny and Jenny has hit that on all aspects.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, as we've seen springing up everywhere in Asheville and in Circleville, coffee shops and all sorts of smaller businesses, we're seeing that happen, and it gives them a voice.
I love it. I really do. I love when somebody starts a small business, and the manager of the station, you know, with all the new small businesses that start out, we give them an extra special push to help get them started, because we know what it was like to get started ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that we have missed you wanted to make sure people knew before we take off? How to find you? No, first of all.
Find us on, you can find us on Google. You can search our website, roundtownradio.net. It's pretty self-explanatory website. You can see some of our sponsor spotlights that we put on there, and there's a play button. All you have to do is click and play. Even on the cable station, CGTV5 in Circleville that airs the Pumpkin Show, Round Town Radio's in the background. So sometimes during the Pumpkin Show, they said, hey, we know who that is. We know what station that is. It's good to hear that. It's good to hear people saying, okay, now, and we're getting the pickup now. We know you're here. We love what you're playing. Our job's done.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time, and perhaps we'll see you at the Pumpkin Show, if not sooner.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Travis Young, thank you so much for joining us again. Round Town Radio. Check them out on Google. And of course, you can also go to their website, roundtownradio.net. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.